Sikorsky has recently received FAA and EASA certification for the S-76D, the successor to the S-76C++. The new S-76D offers improved performance with its new Pratt & Whitney Canada PW210S turboshafts, providing 1,120 shaft horsepower for takeoff. The aircraft boasts redesigned main rotor blades that are now all composite based on those of the larger S-92, as well as new tail rotor blades. This means the S-76D can take off with a gross weight 1,100 pounds higher than that of the earlier C++. The tail rotor blades have a 1-inch longer chord, a higher life airfoil, and a tapered blade tip, which allows the tail rotor to rotate slower with the same effectiveness. This slower rotation uses less power, and this and the shape of the blades lowers noise by about 2 to 3 decibels. The new S-76D model also delivers improved cruise performance of 152 knots compared to 134 knots for the C++. Sikorsky chose Thales's top deck for the S-76D's all-glass cockpit, while Rockwell Collins provides ProLine Navcom radios and Honeywell the enhanced ground proximity warning system. AIN's own helicopter pilot Randy Padfield had the chance to fly the new helicopter at HAI HeliExpo in Orlando, Florida. The former Air Force pilot has flown many helicopters in his long career, including hard flying experience in tough environments such as Alaska, Iceland, and the North Sea. But his enthusiasm for trying new technology hasn't waned a bit.
My first experience with a helicopter was when I was at the Air Force Academy, and I spent some time at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida with the helicopter squadron there, and I really fell in love with them at that time. So I ended up going to the Army Helicopter School and the Air Force School, and then I started flying in Iceland, flying Sikorsky S-61s, which was predecessor of the S-76, and flew in Alaska, got out of the Air Force, got a job flying North Sea helicopters, also S-61s, and came back to the States after about 12 years and got a chance to fly for a fellow named Donald Trump, who a lot of people have heard about. And then I started riding quite a bit and sort of combined a little flying career with a riding career. I haven't flown in a S-76 for many years. I've flown in several other models. I was a little nervous sitting in the cockpit, and the pilot gave me the controls and he said, "Okay, you take it." And lifting up in the hover is, of course, the most difficult thing when you first do it in a new helicopter, and I found it very easy. I mean, we lifted up carefully, it was level, pull the collective up, push the cyclic over, and make a normal takeoff. And then we flew alongside of Interstate 4 here in Florida, about 1,200 feet, and we maintained between 140, 150 knots, around 145 knots, and made a note of the fuel flow, which was low for this type of aircraft. It was only about 645, 650 pounds per hour. After about 10 or 15 minutes, we made a 180-degree turn, flew back up north on I-4, and then made a straight-in landing to the little helipad that was outside of the convention center. The 76D is much more stable than the 61. It's also much smoother. There's not nearly as much vibration. It has improvements in the rotor blades and the transmission and the active vibration system, which we never heard of back when we were flying the S-61. It's much faster and more fuel efficient, and it's not as noisy either. It's much more pleasant to the environment, the people below it, as well as the people inside it. That was a very enjoyable flight for me. It was like I had flown it many times before, so I felt very comfortable in it right away.